I'm Rob. I live in Dubai. I was at Aberdeen University from 2006 to 2012, I believe. So
Yeah,
a
like,
while.
and why did you decide to study at the University of Aberdeen and history in particular?
Uh, well, I wanted to go back to Scotland to study, having been living in Dubai, and also history because I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I was good at history at school. So, and I wanted to obviously get a degree, so I thought,
Yeah.
okay, I'll be good at this. And also, so at the start, I was doing history and film, so I'd never done that before, so I wanted to try that.
Interesting. And what are some of your favorite memories from Aberdeen? Maybe from like social life with it.
There's many. Parties on the beach is one of them.
Hmm.
When we used to do some of the festivals on the beach, going down the bobbin. That
Yes.
was always good as well. Uh, the vending machines as well at the halls. When you're a student and you're just
Yeah.
like, I'm starving. So
Yeah.
those are always good. Just it was a good time all round.
Well, you lived in Middle East for
Yeah.
more than 25 years. How it influenced your approach to like sales and customer relationships?
Well, the Middle East is a very, compared to other cultures, it's very personable. So
Mhm.
everyone wants to know how's your family, what's going on in your life, and a lot. Honestly, maybe 75% of the conversations general stuff, and then the rest is business. So
Mhm.
uh, it helps, I think, to form relationships with customers and people essentially, because with what I do, it's all relationship building, which leads to greater things. Because if everyone respects and trusts each
Mhm.
other, then you can really move forward with business.
Yeah, interesting. And you spent over 9 years at Red Bull, progressing through several key roles. What were some of the most significant milestones during your time there?
Um, I think so. I think joining Red Bull is one of the most significant ones because that's where I really got my training. Just before joining Red Bull, I had worked for a year with a tea company that tea company didn't have any budget. It didn't really have any training or anything like that. It was just kind of get out there and try things, which I managed to do. And then I got the Red Bull opportunity where it really structured everything that I'd learned.
Hmm.
Because the training at Red Bull is second to none, I believe. And working through all my different roles, you learn all the different sales strategies essentially. I mean, when you're working in on-premise or hotels, HoReCa, it's completely different to working in off-trade sales.
Yeah.
And also in terms of how you spend your time. In on-premise, it's a lot of late nights, a lot
Yeah.
of going, building these relationships, drinking a lot of Red Bulls, maybe with some vodka in them, and also getting to know different characters. Off trade, everyone's a bit more suited and booted.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think but for me, the biggest milestones stones were joining, learning as much as I could, and then when I progressed into other roles, such as managing the team, that was great because I had to learn to balance kind of my personality. I'm quite like an outgoing person, but you also
Hmm.
need to then have the other side to you.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing more key account sort of stuff, so that was a totally different change again. So the good thing I think about when I was there was learning all sides of the business rather than just one part of it. So.
Mhm. Very interesting. And so, at your current role at Prime, what are your key responsibilities, and what's your typical day looks like?
So at the moment, what I look after is everything commercial
Hmm.
and a little bit of marketing as well. So at the moment, I'm looking after 30 plus countries for Prime. So,
Hmm.
bits of Africa, Middle East, Turkey, Egypt, which kind of falls between Middle East and Africa, CIS countries as well, including Georgia and Armenia. I've also got South Asia, so I've got India, Sri Lanka.
Hmm.
So basically, my day to day is I need to connect with all these different countries, speak to my distributors that we've appointed there, and make sure that everyone's pushing in the right direction.
Hmm. And how do you keep yourself updated with like new strategies and ensure that your team stays ahead of market trends in the beverage industry?
So we're lucky enough to have a great team that gives us all the insights
Hmm.
across all the different countries. So uh, basically weekly we're all getting on calls and then discussing
Hmm.
what's going on, looking at where we're going, what we're doing well, what we're not doing so well, and what we can do to finally move the needle.
Hmm. And what unique challenges and opportunities you have found in working in Middle East market compared maybe to other ones?
I think the unique challenge is always route to market. So how the product actually gets from, and it doesn't matter what company you're working in, how you actually get the goods to
Hmm.
the country. Because there's a lot more documentation in the Middle East market than in other countries. So in the UK, it seems a little bit simpler. Whereas when you're importing or exporting, everything becomes a lot more complicated. But there's a lot of paperwork, but once you finally get it, then the business can really start.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'd say that that's the biggest
Hmm.
difference. Yeah.
Interesting. And so, what in your career, yes, what was the proudest moment? What would you say? What was the proudest moment?
I think there's been a few, but the latest one was probably launching in India with Prime because we brought together all the influencers and all the people involved with our business directly or
Mhm.
indirectly, and we brought the Prime name basically to India for the first
Mhm.
time. So there was hundreds of thousands of people that had come just to see what we were doing. And yeah, it was just insane to see it all start going because India is a huge market. Um, yeah, that continues to take up a lot of my time, but it's great.
Very impressive. And what advice do you have for students who are looking to get into to build career in sales and marketing, in particular in the Middle East?
Um, I think really the best advice I can ever give is just be yourself because if you're pretending to be something else, people will eventually notice. And also probably just be as organized as you can and be yourself. I think that's
Mhm.
the best advice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any books or podcasts you would recommend for our students? It might be career or non-career related.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of different podcasts, mainly on football, to be fair. So I don't know if that helps. Uh, Over here, we don't get the same radio you guys do in
Hmm.
the UK. So I listen to a lot of Clyde football. So I don't know if that's very helpful because you get a lot of different things on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say networking is important in your career, in your industry?
Networking, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Sales is very relationship built.
Hmm.
So the more you can get yourself out there, the more you can chat to people, it really, really helps.
Hmm.
It gives you opportunities that you might not have had before.
Hmm. Interesting. And what's your advice for students to utilize networking to benefit them? How they can do it in the best way?
Well, utilize networking.
Yeah, for students, how they can do it.
Um, I think there's loads of different ways. Like you always see people that are wanting to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
fresh out of university. Like most of the time, it will come down to a recommendation, um, because a lot of people can go and get a degree. It's how do they pick you out, out of
Yeah.
the CVs that come across their desk. So I'd say that's one thing. The job search is really the big thing there, and then also when you want to go and do things in your actual job. So maybe you want to do an activation in a retailer. And it helps that if you've been networking and you have the relationship, it helps a lot make it move faster and also on how it actually develops and how it works out.
Mm-hmm. And two last questions. What's your advice for students who are struggling with stress, whether during to like personal things or academia? How to deal with stress?
Um, I think I was actually speaking to someone about this the other day. I
Mm-hmm.
think you need to. There's an Arabic saying about if someone chucks you a stick, grab it in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're dealing with stress, it's don't get too high, don't get too low. Just take a second, breathe, take a step back, and go, okay, all right, how can I deal with this now? Whether you're making lists or you're just taking a good breather and a step back, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
a great advice. And the last question is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Uh, what did I say to my younger self? Uh, Probably concentrate a bit harder when I was at university. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I just think that it's what I yeah I don't know what I would say to my younger self, to be honest. Just get on with it.